back, guys. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like it's about 31, 32 degrees. We are back in the garage. After a few days of being gone, I'm happy to report that, first of all, the jack stands are still holding, and second of all, my engine hoist is still holding, steady as can be. So, we don't got much left before we can drop the transmission since we got the subframe and everything out. I think there's 6 bolts on this side of the bell housing, and then there's a couple on the other side. These are easy to get, but they're kind of tricky because you got to get, they're up under the exhaust manifold, so have to use an extension and fish a socket in there, and we'll see if we can crack them loose. Goals for tonight: drop the transmission, get it on the floor, get it out of the way. We got the other transmission on the way, so we also got in our new boot. Where is it? Our new steering boot. And I picked up some of those clips, because some of those ABS clips for the ABS lines, I broke quite a few of them, so I got a 10-pack of those same clips. We're going back in, and I did find the engine, the subframe bolt on, I don't know what website it was, but it was like $11 with shipping, so that's on the way. So let's get this transmission out. Okay, so it looks like these are going to be an 18 millimeter, and I got my eyes on one right through the exhaust manifold here. See if I can get my... Yeah, I got a socket on it. Let's see if I can crack it loose. I need a breaker bar here. Let's see what we can do here. Enough leverage. Bolt number 1 is cracked. Oh yeah, she's coming right out. Gotta hope they all go that way. There we go, bolt number 1. Just give you some idea how long they are. We should have 5 more of those around the bell housing. Yeah, I got my ratchet on the one just behind that one. They're kind of tricky. You really got to feel around for them. I mean, if you look up the diagram, the 4T60-E bolts, you can see where they're at. But when it's in the car and you got the exhaust manifold in the way, it's hard to. I got a good bite on it, but I can't get my breaker bar in. Let's see if we can crack the second one. Make sure we're on there good. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Of course I dropped the ratchet. Again, came out nice and easy with an extension. Turn these by hand like butter. The one all the way in the back is really tricky because it's all the way down and it rests right on the top of the casing. I'm on it, but I can't get a breaker bar, so I'm going to try to pull it. Hopefully it'll crack. Make it look quick. Come on. Ah, we got it. And there we go, number 3. Now, there's a couple more to the front. I think the next one to the front isn't an 18. It feels like a smaller socket. I could feel it. And then there's an 18 all the way at the bottom, which doesn't look like an 18 either. It looks like a smaller one. And that is where the, I don't know if you can see it, that is where the negative battery cable is connected to the engine. So one thing I should have done in the beginning was disconnect the battery. I'm going to do that now. I have had a maintainer on it just because it's so cold. I didn't want it to go dead before the job was done. So I'm just going to pull the cables off the battery. Then we'll proceed. Oh my God, listen to what's playing on the radio. Thumbs up if you grew up in this generation. Oh, the 90s, the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Best time to be alive, man. Best time. Oh, God, I'd love to live all that again, man. So I got the battery disconnected. Easiest part of the job. I don't know what size these other 2 are. We're going to have to figure that out. This song. Go first. That's my shit right there. Those are a 15 millimeter. At least a small extension, probably a big one. Yeah, no torque on that one. popped right away. It's easy to crack, but it's a bitch to get out. It's giving me a lot of resistance. You got 2 thin gauge cables hooked up there. And of course there's another bolt behind it, so I'm going to have to get that. I do have another on the transmission cover. I got a bolt I got to take out there. That's, you got to remove any bolts that are holding it in wire and harnesses. And that'll vary by different vehicles how they route their wiring. Now I see what they did. That main bolt is still an 18. They just put the 15 nut to hold those grounding wires. So we have another 18 there. We're using a deep well 18 because that stud comes out pretty far. All right, make sure we're on there good. Let's go, baby. Oh yeah. Once again, came out pretty easy. You can see the double shaft there. 18 here, 15 there, holding some ground wires. So that's technically what? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one all the way at the bottom looks like it's going to be the same deal. Looks like it's got a 15 for the ground wire and then an 18 holding the bolt in. I laid on the floor, see if I can get it from the floor easier. I can't, which I'm glad I did because I missed one of the bolts from the bottom. Transmission cooler lines, there's a clip on the, like a 10 millimeter. I need to make sure I get that. Glad I found that. Ah, there it is. I felt it. There it is. Oh yeah. 20 minutes later, man, this has definitely been the bitch of the bunch. Whew. Man, that little thing gave me hell. And I think we got one more 18. And don't be afraid to manhandle this loom a little bit. I think it likes it. That wasn't actually a bolt holding that wire harness on, or that wiring loom on. That was just a slip-off plastic cover, so that was a nice surprise. Oh, there it is. I heard it crack. Oh, yeah. Nice and loose. This one's actually a little easier to spin off with your hand, just laying on the ground. Which I don't mind. I had to get under here anyway, because I could get the solid clip I'm going to show you here in a minute. There it is. This was a bastard. Okay, now this clip I gotta get right here. And there's a retainer clip for the cooler lines right there. That one's actually a 1/2 inch. Should come off pretty easy. It's just holding the retaining clip for the cooling lines. Yeah. Glad I saw that though. Don't want to be dropping it down, still have that connected. Be buying new cooler lines and rip something. Now, I think we're done on the driver's side. I took the bolts out instead of leaving 1 or 2 in because there's dowel pins that hold the engine to the, or hold the transmission to the engine. You actually have to move the transmission like 1 inch, I think, to the right to disengage the dowel pins. So our transmission cooler lines are clear. All the electrical connectors are clear. So let's move to the other side and see what we got. On the passenger side, it looks like I just got 2 15 millimeter bolts. I got a 15 millimeter here, and I got a 15 millimeter here. And that's a bracket that bolts to the engine, so I don't think I'll have to take that whole bracket loose. I think I could just take those 2 nuts there loose. Okay. Let's get our other one here. I do have a jack holding the transmission up just in case it accidentally dislodges from the dowel pins. It won't drop straight down. There we go. One is out. I don't see any other connections on the passenger side, just those 2. Okay. All of our connectors and looms are clear. I can't tell if we have... Oh, yes we do. It's way... Oh man, this is going to be a bitch. The last bolt is going to be the most bitch of them all. It's all the way over there, but it's on this side, so we got to reach it from the passenger side. Let me reconfigure some stuff here. I am going to take this mount bracket all the way off. I got to get to that screw. But these 15 millimeters cracked very easily. I mean, there was barely any, I put barely any pressure on them. So now they're all just coming out by hand. So it's 2 15 millimeters up here, and then you got 1 down here. All very easy to get to, and easy to break loose. And they're all, I mean, I'm taking this out with my fingers. Once you pop them, I mean, they come right out. There's one. He's got washers on them, so make sure you don't lose the washers. Two. Okay, there's three. Our bracket should come out. It had this pop, it had a pop in for the loom here. Just pop that out. Wiggle this guy out of here. So now only one bolt holds it to the engine. And that's the one we're going to have to figure out how to get over there. I put together every extension I have, and it brings me just to the end here. I'm on the bolt, but I don't know, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to get a good enough angle to crack it. Because I got so much crap in the way. Let's slip this on here. Okay, you got to hold it steady. You don't want to slip it off while trying to turn the hand here. Oh, I'm gonna have to get another leverage point. Oh, I felt that brake. Nice. The real question is, how in the hell am I gonna get it back in? This is definitely the bitch of the group. But this is the last bolt. After this one, we should be able to rock the engine to the transmission just to the right, just a little bit. Disengage it from the dowel pins, and it should drop down on the jack. All right, let's see if we can get it to come out. Come on, baby. Straight over. Straight over. No, it didn't come out. Let's get the magnet over there. The problem with doing it this way is it wants to stick to everything else along the way. Oh, I got it. There it is. Oh, do you see that? The last bolt is out. Let's drop this bitch. Move the transaxle back to disengage it from the engine block dowel pins. Make sure the torque converter is detached. We've already done that. Secure the torque converter. Lower the front of the subframe. We got subframe's gone. I think we just move the transmission and it comes off the dowel pins and drops. I'm going to put just a little bit of... Look, I felt it move away from the engine. Come on, baby, be nice to me. It's definitely disconnected from the engine. Make sure it doesn't snag our cooler lines. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. I might not be able to control the descent, so it might fall. Make sure we're clear of everything. I think we are. There it is. Okay, here we go. Hold on, girl. Now the jack ain't helping me now. It already tilted. All right, we're gonna let it drop. You ready? Oh. Oh, that messy transmission fluid everywhere. Yeah, now I'm hung up on the jack. Damn it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yep, I did that all wrong. And now I'm stuck. Fucker's heavy, yo. Come on, just do that. There you go. Okay, the jack's out of the way. Oh, you know what's holding us up? The dipstick tube is held on by one bolt. It's a number 10. Please learn from my mistakes. We should have taken this number 10 out and removed the dipstick tube, because now we got a big damn mess. Now we got the weight of the transmission on the dipstick tube bolt. We're probably going to need a new dipstick tube. Looks like we bent it pretty good. Lesson learned. Okay, we're not master mechanics over here. We're doing the best we can. Expect the transmission just to fall once this bolt is out. There we go. She's a heavy bitch. Under the car looks like a crime scene. I swear, officer, that's not blood. There you have it. 2005 GM 4T65-E transmission removed. Oh yeah. But the shafts look good. These blinds look good. You know, I'm tempted to open it up and see what was grinding. Not tonight. I got a shitload of cleanup to do. But there we go. The transmission is out. Everything's still good up top. Transmission is out. We are probably going to need a new dipstick tube. I should have, man, learned from my mistakes. That was just one bolt. We should have done that in the beginning. Just remove there's probably something up on the back of the engine that's holding it. We'll get that the rest of the way out. We're going to clean this mess up, and we're ready for a new transmission. Till the next one. Might be a few days. I think we're going to get the transmission tomorrow, but I'm not for sure. It could be next Tuesday. But with the new one's coming, and then we'll put it all back together. You guys take care for now. I'm going to clean up.